Greetings from the wide sunny fields where it all starts with the modest potato developing robustly within the dark productive earth. Growers check the bright green foliage indicating the produce is prepared for a large yield to satisfy snack enthusiasts everywhere. Giant harvesting machines start up carefully extracting the soil's gems, filtering out dirt from the spuds with hypnotic mechanical accuracy. Field hands organize the fresh crop, immediately making sure only the best potatoes embark on the journey to the processing plant. Packed onto giant red haulers, tons of raw produce enter the freeway bound for a metamorphosis into crunchy golden excellence. Reaching the spotless facility, the vehicles tip upwards to release an avalanche of spuds onto belts that vibrate with eager expectation. The initial stage is a vigorous wash using strong water sprays to remove every bit of soil, exposing the clean brown surface. Specialists in hygienic white gear observe the tubers rolling past, removing any defects before the true cooking artistry starts indoors. Coarse grinding rollers rotate fast against the vegetable surface, peeling off the exterior to reveal the smooth, starchy center beneath. Exposed and washed, the potatoes proceed to the cutting machines, set to change from whole tubers into slender, fragile discs of possibility. Extremely sharp cutters rotate incredibly fast, shaving the potatoes into consistent pieces that fall like a starchy storm onto the conveyor. Accuracy is vital here, as each piece must satisfy precise width standards to guarantee the ideal snap in every final package. The uncooked cuts drop into water to wash off extra surface starch, a necessary measure to stop them from clumping together subsequently. Coming out of the water, the damp cuts are briefly dried by air before entering the hot grease, getting ready for the most drastic shift. They enter the boiling oil and move energetically, the heat immediately removing water and swapping it for a golden, brittle, tasty structure. A wonderful smell permeates the space as sugars turn to caramel, transforming pale cuts into the famous golden brown crisps known globally. Belts elevate the now crunchy snacks out of the cooker, letting extra grease drain, resulting in a delightfully dry and crisp treat. Advanced cameras monitor thousands of crisps every second, utilizing airbursts to discard any that are burnt or fail to meet criteria. In the QC laboratory, researchers check items for hue and snap, verifying that every lot adheres to the brand's rigorous sensory standards. The golden foundation is now prepared for flavoring, heading to the rotating cylinders where taste engineering meets the ideal potato chip base. A gentle spray of tasty powder drifts down like savory dust, covering every bend and groove of the hot snacks as they roll softly. The spinning cylinders guarantee even spice coverage, combining the salty kick with the earthy potato flavor for a supreme taste sensation. Specialized samplers in the lab taste the product, verifying that specific crunch and the exact salt balance that characterizes the brand. Besides flavor, strict chemical testing confirms oil and moisture percentages, ensuring the product stays fresh for the customer's pleasure. Staff maintain a watchful gaze on the assembly line, their experienced eyes identifying any flaws the machines might have overlooked. The completed crisps rise to the packing area, where multi-head scales determine the precise amount for every packet with amazing speed. Spools of bright foil unroll quickly, shaped into tubes and sealed at the base, ready to receive the falling stream of treats. Nitrogen gas inflates the packet right before closure, maintaining freshness and shielding the fragile crisps from breaking during transport. Mechanical arms pick up the closed packs with soft suction, arranging them neatly into cartons bound for grocery stores and shops worldwide. Every carton is recorded and traced, guaranteeing complete accountability from field to store, upholding top safety and quality norms. Let's examine the structure more closely, where tiny bubbles created during cooking form that light, brittle crunch that melts in the mouth. Consistency is the benchmark, as consumers rely on every single chip in the packet, delivering the same pleasing sensation as the previous one. For the original salted type, minimalism is true refinement, needing only top-tier salt to highlight the natural potato taste. In between runs, the steel equipment is cleaned, mirroring the intense factory lighting and the dedication to a hygienic food manufacturing space. Returning to the beginning, climate-controlled warehouses keep raw spuds inactive, stopping them from growing or rotting before frying. The cutting blades are adjusted to the millimeter, since even a tiny variation can change the cooking duration and final texture. The cooking fat is continually cleaned and refilled, keeping it fresh to avoid any bad tastes affecting the pure savory chip flavor. Visual scanners identify burnt rims or green areas, immediately utilizing exact air blasts to remove rejected slices from the main belt. It is effectively a cascade of golden treats, a non-stop river of food that illustrates the immense size of this industrial food endeavor. Robotic loaders move quickly across the storage floor, raising loaded pallets of cartons high into the shelves prepared for global shipping. The shipping bays are bustling as lorries back in to load the pallets, ensuring fresh products get to shops before expiration. When you open the packet seal, the escaping nitrogen delivers the fresh aroma of fried spuds straight to your nose. For hot flavors, the seasoning cylinders are covered in a bright red powder that guarantees a spicy impact for the consumer. The ideal crunch isn't random but a precisely designed outcome of starch levels, oil, heat, and the exact width of each cut. In the laboratory, staff check specific gravity to judge solid mass, a vital state that determines exactly how the chip cracks when chewed. Zero waste occurs here as starch rinsed from slices is gathered and reused, and potato skins are shipped for local animal feed. The sealing clamps close with heat and force, fusing the foil sheets to form a sealed shield against stale air and dampness. Nimble robotic arms grab the completed packs, aligning them flawlessly before placing them into boxes faster than any human could. Machine tapers close the cardboard boxes, making the shipment safe for the long trip on roads to distribution hubs nationwide. Millions of pounds of spuds go through these steel doors annually, satisfying an appetite that seemingly never ends. Repair teams frequently replace slicing heads, ensuring blades stay super sharp to avoid breaking the fragile potato lattice during cutting. The cooker heat follows a strict profile, beginning high to seal the outside and reducing to cook the middle completely. Quality staff continually test the frying oil, looking for free fatty acids to make sure the cooking liquid stays clean and flavor neutral. Seasoning must happen while chips are hot and slightly greasy, enabling flavor bits to stick permanently to the snack's surface. The packet's shiny inside is actually a sophisticated multi-layer material meant to reflect light and keep the savory food in total darkness. A shot of compressed air shoots with sniper precision, removing a lone burnt chip from mid-air without affecting the good ones nearby. Water used for washing raw spuds is cleaned and returned to the system, reducing the ecological impact of this huge factory process. For consistent stackable types, the method begins differently, mixing potato flakes into a uniform dough rolled into a sheet. The dough sheet moves under circular cutters that stamp out flawless rounds, leaving a mesh of leftover dough to be reused. These rounds are placed on arched forms, maintaining their shape as they move through hot oil to become the identical crisps we know. Fixed in their curved shapes, the dough rounds fry uniformly, guaranteeing every chip stacks flawlessly on the next inside the tube. After frying and hardening, they go through a flavor curtain, collecting seasoning on their arched sides before aligning for packing. They aren't bagged, but instead slid carefully into vertical tubes, a distinct method offering strong protection against crushing for the buyer. Back on the primary line, the nitrogen fill is vital, expelling oxygen that would otherwise cause the frying fats to spoil fast. Random packets are taken and dunked in water to check seal strength, making sure no bubbles leak from the airtight wrapper. The noise of a fresh bag popping marks the beginning of a sensory journey, freeing the trapped scent of salt, grease, and earth. Cartons are assembled automatically, prepared to catch the puffed bags dropped in with a soft thud by high-speed packers. Box piles are wrapped tightly in plastic, fastening the cargo to the wooden base so it stays steady during rough shipping. Before exiting the plant, every pack goes through precise metal scanners, a final safety step to guarantee absolutely no foreign items exist inside. Scientists analyze solutions in the lab to gauge salt content precisely, ensuring the taste never deviates from the set formula. Huge vegetable oil reservoirs outside are pumped in, constantly sustaining the operation's lifeblood that turns raw starch into golden treats. A flawless chip shines with a pale gold color, a visual assurance of the savory snap waiting to be released at the first chew. I now assist the sorting task, learning to spot tiny color and shape faults faster than any human vision ever could. The truck engine roars as the driver leaves the bay, hauling freight that brings happiness to celebrations, outings, and lunch boxes everywhere. It is a 24/7 process where lights never fade, powered by a limitless global desire for the basic salty pleasure of a crisp. Reformed chips provide a distinct mouthfeel, a uniform and grainy consistency that crumbles predictably, offering a unique option to the standard slice. Eco-friendly initiatives aim to lower water and power use, attempting to make the path from field to bag as efficient as can be. Innovation groups are constantly working, trialing bold new spice mixes to flavor future chips, expanding the limits of savory treats. When slicer blades get blunt, the belt stops momentarily for a change because a sharp cut is key to avoiding oil absorption problems. Lasers burn the use-by date and lot code onto the wrapper, instantly supplying crucial tracking info for every single bag. The production area shakes with a mechanical beat, an orchestra of metal and steam working together to make the globe's favorite salty snack. Bright red paprika and strong onion powder mix in the cylinder, sticking to the oil to form a layer that deliciously stains fingers. Upright baggers pull film down rapidly, forming an air pillow that protects the delicate contents from shipping impacts. Steam skinners use pressure to blast peels off, guaranteeing that the most nutritious potato meat is preserved for cutting. It demonstrates the Maillard reaction, where heat joins amino acids to darken edges and release that deep, savory baked potato taste. Hourly quality tests gauge the pressure needed to crack a chip, scientifically measuring the specific satisfaction of that initial loud crunch. In the storage area, the atmosphere is chilly and quiet, a sharp difference from the hot, humid vibe of the frying room nearby. Palates vary by location, bearing distinct tastes like vinegar or cheese to specific regions wanting their own unique version of the classic treat. When a buyer picks up the pack, they sense the quality weight, a vow that the air inside guards whole, intact golden crisps. Viewed against light, a flawless chip is see-through and luminous, a starch and oil mosaic indicating total frying excellence. Extra grease drains away on shaking belts, ensuring the end result feels dry while keeping that crucial rich texture. Thicker cuts stay in the fryer a bit longer, creating a harder snap requiring a stronger chew, unfolding flavor in a slower surge. The vivid yellow emblem is known immediately worldwide, a symbol of reliability, telling travelers they can locate a taste of home. From the time the spud leaves the truck to when it's sealed in the wrapper, usually under 30 minutes have passed. Staff watch screens showing live metrics, tweaking burner strength by tiny degrees to fight any variations in raw materials. Heat closers bond packaging sheets, immediately forming an airtight seal that blocks humidity, the arch nemesis of the crisp, dry chip. Local spices are changed quickly, letting the same machine make tangy BBQ in the morning and cool sour cream by afternoon. Salt grains must be the ideal size, melting instantly when touching the tongue to spark that immediate craving, need for another. Stores fill shelves high, realizing these bright bags are impulse purchases few shoppers can skip when walking down the aisle. It's a wonder of modern food tech, converting the dirty vegetable into a clean golden slice that brings happiness with every snap. Crinkle-cut knives rotate with jagged edges, carving deep grooves into the potato that will later trap thick layers of spice. Constant flow filters remove small particles from the oil, stopping them from charring and ensuring the frying fluid stays transparent, golden and clean. A high-quality chip has a unique sound signature, a sharp crack that vibrates through the jaw, indicating total freshness to the mind. Scales eject any pack that is underweight, ensuring the buyer gets precisely the quantity stated on the label. For milky flavors, hints of buttermilk and herbs are mixed into the spice, producing a cooling effect that contrasts nicely with the warm crispness. Inside, the hauler cartons are arranged in a set pattern to optimize stability, stopping the cargo from moving during the long drive ahead. The specific starch makeup of these spuds is special bred expressly to endure the fryer's high heat shock without burning or breaking. That metallic film sheet is a tech wonder, a barrier blocking UV light which would otherwise spoil the fragile oils in days. Centrifugal force pushes the potato against fixed knives, cutting so fast that human eyes see just a white blur. Strong acid joins salt in the vinegar type, a piercing taste that makes the mouth water immediately and resets the palate for more. Suction pads on robotic packers inhale and exhale, rhythmically moving fragile packs with a softness contradicting their cold steel reality. Whether at a garden party or a solo movie night, the custom remains: the bag opens, the hand enters, and the crunch starts. The steam skinning method is highly effective, stripping skin instantly while saving the most valuable energy-packed potato flesh. Detectors spot oil temperature dips, instantly boosting burners to keep the heat balance needed for that flawless golden brown look. Although the brand is worldwide, spuds are often local, coming from nearby fields to cut transport time and help the local farming sector. As the crisp dissolves, starch emits savory tones, covering the tongue, leaving a lasting buttery finish that is truly rich and pleasing. Identical chips sit on molds like small saddles held during frying to ensure they will ultimately stack together with mathematical exactness in the can. Static electricity is sometimes used to pull spice dust to the chip, ensuring more taste lands on the food than the machinery. A golden belt extends into the horizon, proof of the massive volume of treats needed to feed a starving, waiting globe. Oxygen detectors check the air inside closed packs, verifying the nitrogen-filled successfully removed air that causes staleness and rot. The wrapping film forms a crucial dampness shield because even tiny air humidity can ruin the crisp structure in minutes. High-tech optical gear sorts billions of cuts, discarding any with slight flaws to ensure only the best-looking chips make it through. The trip from dirt to store shelf is a sprint against the clock, streamlined at every stage to keep freshness and taste. When heat touches the raw cut, starch cells burst and gel, forming the stiff framework that defines the standard brittle chip crack. Stacking machines arrange boxes with geometric precision, constructing steady product towers that travel far without moving or falling. The unique smell of frying spuds drifts through the factory, a cozy, savory aroma signaling the non-stop making of a loved global treat. In the flavor drum rotation, physics ensures spices reach every bend, providing a uniform taste impact with each chew. Buyers rely on the brand for uniformity, knowing a pack opened in New York will taste identical to one opened in Los Angeles. The gold tone shows the ideal caramelization level, a visual signal telling the mind sugars have cooked to savory perfection. Each lot faces a strict pressure test, ensuring the chip is tough enough for dip but brittle enough to break nicely. From the simple ground comes a treat of basic elements changed by heat and exact engineering into a crunchy symbol of modern eating. The nitrogen fill does more than save. It forms a pressurized buffer, working like an airbag to stop chips from crushing to powder. Quality pros taste chips, frequently tuning their skilled palates to spot even tiny drifts from the master flavor benchmark. The thin classic provides a fragile glass-like break, while the wavy style gives a strong, substantial crunch that handles thick, dense dips. Green methods ensure water is recycled and heat reclaimed, making the giant industrial task as efficient and eco-safe as tech permits. The factory sound is a steady, rhythmic drone, a productivity soundtrack where raw crops become shelf-ready golden food joy. Before reaching the cutter, potatoes are sorted by size, ensuring only the biggest tubers become the premium full-size chips we adore. Spice sticks to surface grease, forming a flavor link that frees instantly when wet in the mouth, stimulating taste buds at once. Robotic vehicles move silently across the warehouse, transporting heavy pallets with machine accuracy to the right docks for their final trip out. It is a fine mix of heat and time, frying moisture out without scorching sugars, reaching that rare, ideal golden brown potato shade. Shiny packs fill the racks, a bright flavor mosaic waiting to be picked, vowing a moment of pure, salty, crunchy delight for all. A trio of basic components, spuds, oil, and salt, combine perfectly, making a classic snack that crosses borders, cultures, and ages globally. The initial bite gives a pleasing snap, followed by the dissolving savory richness of the potato, a feeling engineered for pure joy. From this one plant, millions of packs stream out like a golden wave, hitting every market corner to feed a common human hunger. It is a teamwork of soil and science, between the grower's careful touch and the engineer's exactness, ending in a perfect edible work of art. That well-known back pop is a global tongue, a noise instantly signaling it's time to chill, share, and love life. Behind every chip is a strict testing and tasting routine, a vow to greatness, ensuring the very last bit is tasty. The trip is done, changing raw sun and earth energy into a crunchy golden prize that brings a simple grin to faces. For years, this brand has led the field, defining what a crisp should be: fresh, tasty, and impossibly compellingly crunchy. From field to cooker, from plant to your hands, this is the amazing, fast-paced tale of the globe's most adored potato chip.